One. Hello and welcome to the week 2 power rankings. We're late, like usual.
What else is new?
Yeah, true. Right now I'm using the 4-person layout, and I crossed out Kylo's thing because I don't have the 3-person template anymore.
Nice job.
And I didn't have enough time to make the 3-person template again. So, anyways. Yeah. So we have things to discuss before we hop into number 16, right?
This was quite a hectic week.
Yeah, definitely.
This is one of the most hectic weeks I think we've
Ever
had. There's a forfeit, a controversial game. Like, the only reason we're so late doing this is because New York weather sucks. As wise man once said, nature is a whore. Like,
wise name?
Kurt Cobain. Anyway, no, it's just been one hectic week. Getting these done, like, losing power for 2 days. It's like nothing I can do, nothing anyone else can do. Week 2 was overall a fun week. It was hectic, but it was fun to, have fun, deal with it. So, should we get right into it?
Well, we had one controversial match.
Yes, and we had a forfeit as well. That's another reason.
The rulings we have on forfeits is the loser is number 9 and the winner is number 8.
Yeah.
So
and we'll get to that later.
So let's move on to our number 16, which is the controversial match.
Oh, let's get right into it. Alrighty.
So
Roblox.
Roblox versus A Guy. Now,
load up the game.
Now, to start off, A Guy played one damn of a good game.
Slowbro nearly 6-0'd somebody if Landers did not get a kill. If Landers did not, and don't worry, we'll get to one Mon 6-0ing an entire team later. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
No, but Roblox played one. He played. Ugh. How do you have nothing for a calm mind, Slowbro?
Yeah.
How do you have nothing for it?
I'm trying to find the match right now. Which one was that?
So what ended up happening was in this match, A Guy had 5 minutes left to go. He had to go to a swim meet, so on and so forth. And what ended up happening was he did not play correctly. He tried to stall out. He was calking a psychic versus a calm mind up Slowbro to +1. That was his reasoning. He was calking a psychic versus a Slowbro. And there was no chance he had. A Guy kept saying, look, I have 5 minutes, we gotta finish this. We gotta finish. And Roblox was taking his time.
He purposely tried to stall out the match, which is not cool in League play.
So, A Guy had to leave, and then Roblox sat there for an hour before he turned on the timer, and in the battle it says A Guy lost due to inactivity.
Yes. And then what ended up happening was
Kylo comes up to me and says, look, this match is very controversial. We are deciding what should happen, and
I was dead asleep because I was dead after work after all this was going on, and
let me see if I can actually pull up my conversation with Kylo.
So literally, I just woke up. I was just getting my nap because work was dead. Work was death of me. So I get up. I see all this crap. I watched the replay. Read the conversation, so on. What ended up we deciding was A Guy won 5-0, and there's nothing Roblox could have done. He tried to politic his way to. I wasn't allowing it. Kylo wasn't having it, and Shu was not having it.
Yeah, I said it was because he was forcing an endless battle, basically. So
exactly, and
also yeah, and that is a rule. We have no endless battles.
We're going to make it a rule from now on that if another scenario happens like that, it's just a 6-0.
No, we already, yeah. But again,
it's not good sportsmanship. It's unethical to do that.
No. And then he tried to politic his way and say, "Oh, for Alligator got 5 kills when it didn't even have Crunch. How is Slowbro or for Alligator at neutral killing everything? Not possible."
And Slowbro was at 89%.
Slowbro was at 89%. He later revealed he didn't even have Crunch on said for Alligator. So there was nothing he could have done to win.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that.
So Roblox didn't even play that great of a game.
No.
Then he tried to force endless battle, and then he tried to lie about his sets to win.
Yeah.
And even, well, his main argument was that a guy left his computer or left Showdown on.
And then a guy came back and later revealed that his mother was calling him. Kylo called it beautifully. Kylo said, "Look, he probably had to go do something really quick. He probably had his mom calling him like crazy, and he could go right away, right?" That was Kylo's prediction. I'm like, okay, yeah, I believe you. Later on, he comes back, and that's exactly what happened. So
Yeah.
Kylo's a psychic, man. So yes, that was exactly what happened. Roblox, you're number 16. There's nothing we can do to change it.
It's a controversial battle.
Very
Not cool.
controversial. So let's kind of move on to Ghost here.
Number 15.
I have him
all
at
of our
15.
number 15.
I think I have him at
We all
15,
agreed.
I believe. As
We all
well.
have
agreed
him at
for number
15.
Oh, at the beginning of the season when I first looked at his draft, I thought he had a pretty good draft. I had him number 4 for
Yep, same.
Power Rankings. And then the games happen, and he just has lost both weeks in a row pretty badly.
Yeah. I forget, who did Ghost play week 2? Antoine? Like, oh yeah. Star Raptor. Choice Scarf Star Raptor.
He
Man.
left a Terrakion on the Star Raptor.
Which was clearly Choice Scarfed. Like,
Exactly.
Like, I personally run Choice Scarf Track more 9 times out of 10 because it was Gen 5 fanboy over here, but again, like, you don't ever just leave Terrakion in on an obvious choice. If you bring in a
Can we point
Star
out
Raptor
how,
versus a Terrakion,
Like, Star Raptor got 4 kills that game.
yes, it did, and it didn't die. Like, if you're bringing in a Star Raptor on a Terrakion, 9 times out of 10 it's freaking Scarf. Unless you have balls of steel, that is the only time you ever do that.
Exactly.
No, it was obviously Scarf. Anybody could see that coming.
I mean,
So
once Latius died, he had nothing for Star Raptor.
Mm-hmm.
nothing. So again, just
Antoine
Ghost.
won in a 3-0 victory over Ghost.
Yeah, it's just again he misplayed like crazy. Right now, actually, funny. There is a 3-way tie for number 1, 8 O's. It is, I believe, JS, A Guy,
And Red.
A Guy, JS, A Guy, Red, and Antoine are all 8-0 right now. Week 2. It's hilarious.
Very good players.
It's right. Seriously. So I mean, Ghost just kind of, I don't know. You need to learn your team a little bit more. That's kind of the best I can pretty much put it out there. It's like you need to learn your draft a little bit more and learn what. Like, Terrakion should be plowing through teams by itself. Like, it has, 1 kill out of from 2 weeks? That's kind of what I'm looking at.
Exactly. Terrakion's meant to be one of those Pokemon that gets tons of kills in weeks and gets on
Yeah.
the MVP race.
Yeah.
1 kill in 2 weeks, it's -1 differential.
It's sad. It's sad to see.
sad.
Yeah, it's very sad to see.
To see such a good Pokemon getting played so poorly.
Yeah. So let's kind of move on here to Chew. I have him at 14.
I have myself at 14.
And
Brian.
I think I
Brian,
put you at
13.
13.
So
I'm going to address
Chill.
one thing. I played like shit. I should have brought Suicune.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Second guessing myself, fucked myself in the ass. Basically, that game.
Right.
Yep, you are 0-2.
Yeah.
Rough
Yeah.
start.
Yeah, definitely a rough start. The one thing I really don't like about the match was the crit exchange between Mega Blastoise and Mega Altaria. That put Mega Altaria out of commission for that game because I could have.
I literally was just about to point that one out.
I could
as well.
have had it where I could
There's
have.
nothing you can do about crits.
Nothing.
They happen.
Yeah.
There's just nothing you can do to
And then the
prevent
13 million paras. That was another thing I noticed in that match. I'd almost say it was almost a one-side hacked match, but again, a crit exchange kind of happened. But that's like I don't know. That's just kind of almost a one-sided match. Chew hacks out. There's nothing you can do.
I know what it's like to be on the receiving end of one hack.
You're telling me.
Oh man.
I won.
Yeah.
I won, and I last turn screwed me. So I know the feeling.
I was knocked out of a playoffs match because of like 20 turns of para.
Yeah. Let's kind of move on here. Before,
like crazy.
Yeah. Let's move on here too. We kind of addressed everything. I have Boo Boo here.
I had Nada at 14, but I guess we'll get to Nada later. So Boo Boo is who we're talking about?
13, yeah, at Boo Boo.
Okay.
Boo Boo played red, right?
Yeah, Boo Boo had...
Which was basically an automatic loss.
No, not really.
Unless yes, then it'll be a good match.
Now, I'm going to point something out right now. Boo Boo pointed out after the match, if I remember correctly, he said his answer to Mega Scizor was Entei.
Yeah, he didn't have HP Fire Mega Venusaur.
He didn't have a fire move on Mew. He didn't have HP Fire on Venusaur. His answer was Entei. And Entei is worn down, has no... unlike Arcanine. So... again, that is his terrible prep. Mega Scizor is one of those mons that 6-0's entire teams by itself, and it pointed it out.
I've done
again,
it before.
Spoiler. Yeah. No, Mega Scizor, if played correctly, 6-0's entire teams.
Exactly.
No HP Fire on Venusaur, no fire move on Mew. Why? You
and
have Mew. It has everything.
Matt expertly scouted for the fire moves.
Yeah. And again, like, he just played his match perfectly. Again. Like, there's nothing Boo Boo could have done. Like, you have to prep for every single mon. I cannot stress this enough. Again, a lot of these losses were just due to poor prep.
Exactly. And to think that of all mods he didn't prep the best for would be amazing.
There's Mega Scizor.
Exactly. As soon as he lost Entei, the game was pretty much over at that point.
No, exactly. There's nothing you could do. I mean, come on. HP, it's a quad mon to fire. I mean, I get it. He has a Salamence, a Clefable, and Scary Fire, Fury, Steel Dragon, but again, you can't run HP Fire on something completely unorthodox.
I mean, Mew gets every TM in the game. Come on, you can't make a move for like Thrower or Hidden Power even.
Yeah, again, there's just like, I don't get the prep here. That's just me. Again, 4 matches, what? 4 players in a row, we just talk about bad prep?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get it. We're week 2, and this is already a worse. No offense, I think this is a worse week than week 1.
It is.
and then we're on week 2. I don't get it. Anyway, let's move on to who have 14 or 13.
Nada.
So let's move on to Nada. I have her at 12. I'm gonna kind of defend
Megazard Y versus Megazard X. Pretty sure.
Now, I'm going there. The end game is what good, solid beginning game. Again, Z, amazing prep on his end.
Exactly.
I will defend.
Been showing us that his prep has been spectacular.
Yes.
Thunder Punch Zard Y. What was his Lucario set? Sash?
Sash Agility.
Yeah, Sash Agility.
If it was Double Dance Sash, I would see it maybe putting in a little bit more work, but I don't think he got the chance. I think he was. I'm not sure, though.
Oh, yeah. But, I want to point out something. Z has been loving these, though. It's like his favorite thing.
Yeah.
Watching PR.
Yeah. Now, Nada, I'm going to point this out right now. Bulu, I don't think is a good mon in this format. I'm sorry. I really, really dislike Tapu Bulu.
Well, I mean, it can be good. It's just she doesn't have the best build around.
Exactly.
She doesn't have.
If you're drafting Blue, you need to draft it with like Skarm.
Exactly.
No, not even Skarm. I've even seen things like in a free league I'm in, actually. Tapu Bulu pairs Magirna. That's terrifying together.
Oh gosh, let's not even start that.
No, that is terrifying.
I paired Bulu with like Mega Zam one time, although that league ended.
I mean, pair Bulu with a very, very, very steel type, because again, Bulu's grassy terrain weakens ground type moves.
Yeah.
Bulu is a terrifying mon, but if you pair correctly with like a very, very powerful mon, then it can plow through teams by itself.
It can, for sure. You just have to play it right and play it with the correct mods, because with that 4x weakness to poison types, it gets shut down hard, especially
Yeah.
if it's mediocre speed stat.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
Now, again, like, in her defense, she was playing a little bit correct. There's one play I'm going to point out specifically that could have actually won her the game. She sacked Espeon for no reason. When Z had a Klefki, he had, what else did he have at the end game? A Toxapex and a Latios.
Bulu getting fully parried sucked.
No, she still could have won the game if she just didn't sack Espeon like that.
Yeah.
She actually could have had a really, really solid chance of winning with that Espeon, believe it or not. So she was running Shadow Ball and Psychic, and obviously Klefki had Flash Cannon, he revealed. Espeon just won.
Yeah.
At that point, yeah.
Yeah, because all he had left was Delmise, Gladios, which speed tie with the Espeon. He had a Toxapex and a Klefki. Klefki can't do much to Espeon. If it was like a Calm Mind setup Espeon, it's set up all over that Klefki. And Klefki couldn't do a thing back to it. It couldn't para it. It couldn't do anything. It had magic bounce. Nothing. Espeon won. So her sacking it to a devastating Drake from Latios was a huge misplay, and that cost her the game, I felt.
Exactly.
The game literally turned into a stall match with Togekiss and Klefki.
And again, I'm gonna. That's why I'll get to Z. I'll address it when we get to Z.
All right.
So let's kind of move on.
Okay.
We'll take over.
Without me. You continue without me.
I have Zone at number 11.
I had Zone at 12.
So let's kind of talk about Zone here. Now, Zone. He didn't play a bad game versus me. He had a very, very hard matchup. I will admit that myself. He even said it himself. In his prep video, I went back and I watched it.
Your team countered his pretty well.
He just couldn't break the Mega Aggron. Now, he misprepped hard. I'm gonna point out right now, he won. He actually should have won his game versus me. If he put Fluor Cannon on my one.
Yeah, he should have had Magearna with Fluor Cannon.
So Farium Z killed my Mega Aggron. So confused. I went back and watched the video. He was running Dazzling. If he did have that Fluor Cannon, right, Farium Z, he got the steal. I had to go into my Necrozma. He clicked Fluor Cannon again. It killed me. Because Necrozma lived a Shadow Ball from said Magearna at +1. I'm not sure if it was a roll or not. I really, really didn't go back and do the calcs. But again, Necrozma lived a Shadow Ball, so if he clicked Fluor Cannon, right, he would have been at neutral, right? My last two were Xatu and Zygarde? Xatu and Zygarde?
Xatu and Zygarde, yeah.
I couldn't touch the Xatu. I could not touch the Magearna with Xatu. I had nothing for. I had U-turn as my attacking move on that Xatu, and Zygarde just got O-code by a neutral Fluor Cannon.
Exactly, and then Shadow Ball could have killed
Xatu. Yeah. I had nothing for that Magearna in the end, but misprep again. I can't stress it enough. Mispreps. Why? I mean, I'll respect the Hawlucha Brick Break. In his video, he was expecting my Alolan Ninetales with Aurora Veil. I'll defend that because I could see it, right? It would catch me off guard, I'm not disrespecting it, but Dazzling Gleam, sometimes I get it, you don't want the special attack lower, but in that regard, where it costs you the game, that's
when you messed up.
Now, again, another thing I'm going to condone, I have to defend here is Doug Trio. I played the Doug Trio perfectly. So, I'm going to talk about the most pivotal turn of the match, where I had my Swellow in versus the Circuitry. He had a couple plays he could make. If he volt switched, I stayed in, I actually could have lost the match. Again, I could have lost. Circuitry would have been more of an issue. Or I went into Doug Trio on his volt switch, trapped it, and Doug Trio stashed it intact. Or he HP iced, I went into my Doug Trio, and I lost my Doug Trio. And then, again, right then and there, Zerkatry would become more of an issue.
Exactly.
So he clicked HP Ice, I stayed in with the Swallow, I went into Doug Trio, trapped it, dead. That was another huge moment in the match. But we'll get to more on that later.
Yep. Alright, do we want to move to number 10 now?
Yeah, who do you have at number 10?
I have Kylo.
I have him there too.
Alright.
So, Kylo, I'm going to point this out right now. Kylo had a kind of a hard matchup versus Meloetta.
Yeah.
Pure at Meloetta just was such a problem for him.
Yeah, once it got to its pure form, it just pretty much
It was
pretty much a clean-up fest.
Yeah. So, again, Magirno was just had a good field day versus his team. Like, Ice Punch, like, I even knew I got Ice Punch, and Kylo pointed out in the battle, he's like, I didn't even know I got Ice Punch, and I draft my Meloetta very often, so it's like, how do you not know that something like that gets that specific move? If you say you draft it, right, and you use the pure F form before, obviously, and I don't know. Again,
now that's a bit of bad prep there. You should know a mon that you've used before.
Right, I know every single mon's move pool from just knowing the game so well. So, again, more bad prep. I don't even know at this point. This is just a bad prep week. This is just the theme. This is just the theme of this week. Miska.
Okay, so we can't really talk about number 9 and 8 because, for number 9,
that was the forfeit.
That was a forfeit. That's really all we can say, and we have to move on to number 7.
So, 7, I have Z.
I have you.
Now, Z, I'm going to compliment him, but I'm also going to... This is the one reason I'm going to put him at number 7, myself at number 6. Z, he could have just avoided that entire little end fest there with Togekiss versus Klefki by just going straight into the Latios. On a predicted heal bell. Thunderwave, go into Latios, predicted, save differential, and then just win with Latios. Because at the end there, he proved that Latios had Ice Beam, and it had Thunderbolt, and whatever.
Exactly. And it could have won.
And that's the only reason I'm going to put 7. Otherwise, phenomenal game.
Yeah,
and
Z has played 2 weeks very well.
Yeah, again, just a little bit of a complaint on my... Saving, differential is very important, so...
In this league, for sure. You want to keep as much differential as possible, because that can be what keeps you in the playoffs.
Exactly. So, I mean, it was CO for Z, but... Predicted heal bell, just go into Latios in that regard and just end the game. Because Nada had nothing at that point.
But he still played a great game. Got the Frio, I believe it was.
Yeah.
With Toxapex, Delmise, and Latios left.
Yeah. So again, Latios just won at that point, but whatever. It's the only complaint I have in that match.
Z. He still played very great.
Yes.
All right, so why don't we move on to your match now against...
We kind of already talked about it a little bit. Now, I'm going to talk about what my whole thought process was on that match. So,
you'll know your match.
Yeah. This is, honestly, Zone, I knew Zygarde won in the end. Like, there's so many different end games that could have played out. If he had Fluid Cannon, Magirno just won, and he won the match. If I made that misplay of Doug Trio and Zerkatry, I lost the game right there to Zerkatry, because Zerkatry just shit on my team otherwise. That's why I really had Doug Trio. Now, now, he was saying in the end the Will-O-Wisp miss mattered versus Cofagrigus versus Zygarde. I did have the Lumberry, so it didn't matter. Then he also said he had hits. Now, this is where it could have been a little bit different. If he just sacked something like the Cofagrigus first, not the Porygon 2, he should have sacked Cofagrigus first, went for Haze on my predicted Dragon Dance, and then gone into P2, killed him. And I lived in Ice Beam with my HP, but he just couldn't really... He sacked P2 first, which was a huge mistake, because it did have the Ice. He did that, and then he went into... Cofagrigus, he should have clicked Hate. So at that point, he didn't know I had the extreme speed. I never revealed it. So I E-speed it. If let's just say he got the haze off. I didn't kill P2. I set up on DD, and then I don't know. It's just I could have played out so much differently. Misprep. I capitalized on a little misprep there. Across my Mega Aggron, living hits like they're nothing.
God,
That was hilarious.
Filter and Prism Armor Core, jeez.
That was funny. I couldn't get over that. So, me living that Shadow Ball, I was unexpected. I thought that right then and there I lost. Again, I even misprepped myself a little bit, but it didn't, I misprepped a little bit, but I forgot to change. I had, what did I have? I had Rest on my Aggron, because I thought Zatu got Heal Bell or Aromatherapy. It did not.
Yeah.
I thought Zatu, but I was going to switch it to Earthquake. Never did, but it really didn't matter. I mean, yeah, a little bit more damage. I think it would have done the same roughly to Makirna, but who knows.
Yeah. You played good, and he had some misplays, and that's mainly what cost the match.
Yeah. So, again, I don't know. It's just like the mispreps on his end. The Birth Break I can respect on the Hollow Choice, he was predicting. Yeah.
Yeah. But this week has had so many mispreps, and it's just so sad to see that people are just not good. Especially because we're only on week 2.
Right. So, I don't know. Like I said, I played decently. I had a few the reason I brought both Zatu and to that game was I was gonna play around the Cafagrigus like a champion, because Casuelo did do quite a bit versus him. I kind of noticed that, so I was gonna play the mind games with Cafagrigus, like you turn on Will-O-Wisp or whatever, just kind of play around it a little bit, just to have fun, Shadow Ball and Will-O-Wisp, just to kind of mess around the Cafagrigus just a little bit, but it didn't really play on the end. He had knockoff. I even forgot the Cafagrigus got knockoff. Anyway.
Yeah, I know it got knockoff because I've used it a lot in league play,
but yeah. So
it was a good match.
It was still a good match, nevertheless.
All right, so next up, I think we both have BXL at number 5.
Yes.
Okay.
BXL game versus Kylo. Yeah. I was actually in call while he was prepping. I knew Kylo's team the entire time because Kylo sent me his team and told me what his team was versus BXL. So I was kind of trying to stay quiet and just kind of listening to some of the prep BXL was doing. I'm like, oh my god. Kylo's Hidden Power Electric on Volcanion. Wakan Berry fucking Mantine. I'm surprised Kylo didn't even... I'm surprised Kylo never asked me, did you tell him about the HG Electric Volcanion? I'm like, no. I would have even said no, because I was trying to... I even told BXL, look, I know Kylo's team. I'm not saying anything. I can't really help you.
When you're it's a really tough position when you know someone's team and the person who's playing them is also telling you their prep, and you just can't really say anything.
Yeah. So I was kind of sitting there chuckling the entire time. I don't know. It was just so funny to me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Just, oh gosh. How do you have Wakan?
As soon as he mentioned Wakan Berry Mantine, I just kind of chuckled a little bit to myself. I was like, wow. I mean,
Talk about good prep.
Yeah, right? So
good preparation this week.
Yeah. So let's kind of number 4. These last 4, I can't even. I don't even want to. I can't even.
Okay, the slides didn't change while I was gone. So did you say who was at where?
Yeah. So basically, let's just address this. Number 4, 3, 2, and 1 are interchangeable. We all just play phenomenally. There's nothing different we could have prepped here or said anything different. Number 4, I put Antoine.
I put Antoine as well.
Everyone did.
So Antoine to me played a very, very good game. Aggressive. He played everything correctly. He was star after 1 in the end. He did it and played it perfect. Ghost staying in with Terrakion, not a Scar, might I mind you, just cost him. Terrakion still did quite a few number to his team, Glisspot died to the Terrakion, so on and so forth. It's just like, why would you sack it to something you clearly know is Scarf? In what universe do you bring Star Raptor in on a Terrakion? That's not obviously Scarfed. Unless you have to be the biggest fucking bluffer. You need to play poker if you're that much of a bluffer like that.
For
Like,
sure.
Goodness gracious. You need to play poker if you can bluff that hard. That's not a Scarfed Raptor. So
For sure, like, you can't bluff it that well. He was clearly Scarf Raptor when he brought it in on Terrakion.
So I that's just the best I can do. Pretty much is just
really nothing else to say. Antoine played much better than his opponent this week and ended up just kind of demolishing the match.
Yeah. Let's move on to number 3 here, JS. JS, to me, he played a very fair. I don't know. There's this. I don't know. I just think
JS just played good again. He played good last week. He played good this week. He's just continuing to hold his top spot. And I have him at number 2 despite a guy's good 5-0.
Yeah, I haven't.
How good he did last week.
Yeah, again, like I said, I can't stress that enough. Any 4 of these could be number 1. Like,
exactly.
That's just the best way to put it. So I have a guy at number 2. Despite all the controversy, all the crap, Slowbro got 5 freaking kills in one game.
Exactly.
How is that possible?
A Pokemon with base 30 speed swept a team.
And as many hits as it felt like. It was ridiculous.
I put A guy at number 1 because he definitely had a grasp at that game. There was no way his opponent could win, I feel.
Right.
Well, with these top 4, I don't think there were really any way any of the other opponents could win as well.
I mean, if that crit exchange didn't happen, I had a chance. But...
that is true. I guess if it wasn't for crit exchange, you may have been able to beat JS.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, hindsight is hindsight.
That's kind of being controversial there, but yeah.
Yeah, hindsight is hindsight.
Hindsight, for sure. All right, and let's go out to probably number 1 overall for this
Red.
One. Red.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say
every week.
Right now, I didn't even notice Mega Scizor got 6 kills until I was updating the doc by myself one night. I just kind of watched the replay back. I'm just like sitting there in awe at Scizor getting all 6 kills
of the match. You just make it Scissors and Mon. You have to prep for it. It will do that exact thing.
I was just like sitting there, just like silent the entire time in awe. I'm just like, what is this?
And this is why Red is number 1, because he's playing so well and dominating his opponents by a large margin each week.
Right. I was just dumbfounded. Yeah, I was dumbfounded.
He's playing his team so well that no one can beat him right now.
Right. I mean, again, it's not an impossible thing to break, you know? It's score's not that... Scizor, thingy.
Yeah.
I've seen it broken before. It's not that hard to break. It's scary, but it's not that hard.
Move on to trades.
Yes. We do have a few trades this week. We are going to address them. Now, let's kind of move on here.
Wasn't it Weirdo who traded first?
Yes.
I believe.
We traded
for Excadrill and Executor for Trevenant.
Alolan and Executor for Trevenant. So
I think those are some good trades right there.
Trevenant is phenomenal. So underrated.
Great spinner. Just overall.
EQ spam. So much fun. Now, the craziest thing is, I can't believe... I love Trevenant. That's just me, though, because Trevenant can actually sit on teams pretty comfortably and just do whatever it feels like. Like, knockoff is a thing. That's, like, the only thing stopping Trevenant. That Harvest set, oh my god, that thing can sit on you forever and never die.
For sure.
Yeah, I've used it to full extent on the Smogon ladder, and it just sat there and it sat and sat and sat and sat.
Especially if it's in the sun. Then it gets harvest every turn. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
No, not in a sun. It's just until you're below 50. It just depends on the berry. Like if
Yeah.
you're below 50, then citrus berry's a thing. I've even seen some offensive Trevenant. I'd love to see that personally. Something like a lychee berry Trevenant or something.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, and then just like sub up and oh my god, that'd be so much fun to watch.
New series top 5 plays of the week.
Yeah, right.
All right, but do we want to say what match we're probably most excited for?
We
We still
haven't-
have a
we have-
couple. We still have.
Yeah, we have a few
some
more
trades
trades.
left.
Then we have Liam doing trades. He drops Moltres for Jellicent.
Which I think is a great trade. Jellicent
I
is
do
so
too.
good, reliable recovery,
And it fits his team.
and it fits his team. He doesn't have that rock weakness anymore like he did with Moltres.
Yes. And then he kind of
He balanced out his team there with that
Yes.
Jellicent pick. He got more defense rather than weak offense.
yes. Now, then he also dropped Togedemaru for Ariados. Me personally, I would have dropped it for Cricketune. That's just me though. If you're going for webs, I would go Cricketune in that spot.
Or Levanny. It didn't work.
Well, Levanny I think was drafted. So I would have gone
that was
Cricketune.
drafted.
I would have gone Cricketune, even though it's kind. You can make fun of it all you. Cricketune is better than Ariados and what it can do. Ariados is what? Sticky web, sucker punch, right?
Yeah, that's like base.
Pretty
With
much.
pitiful speed. Cricketune has better speed, can use knockoff, actually hit some things, and just set up the webs.
Exactly. It does everything but better.
Yeah. So, Chu, I'll like your two.
Yeah. I mean, Suicune for Rotom Wash and Alolan Raichu for Vanilluxe. Although, my thought process was, okay, I don't want Alolan Raichu anymore because it hasn't been doing what I've been wanting it to do. So I
Which
said,
is reasonable.
yeah. And then I saw Rotom Wash was still on the board, so I said, well, Suicune for Rotom Wash would actually be pretty helpful. And then I was stuck on what tier 4 to get. I was debating between Vanilluxe and Purugly. And by kind of switching to Purugly, I'm losing a special attacker, which my balance is kind of still wobbly, so I thought, hey, special attacker Vanilluxe wouldn't be too bad of a mon to get.
Now that it gets snow warning, it can pair up with that blizzard really well.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for more snow. Thanks for more hail versus my team. Appreciate it.
I can run it versus Kylo.
Spectrum, just thanks for the hell now.
Yeah, I mean, I can run it versus Z's Sun. I can run it versus Antoine and Kylo's Sand.
You can bring it versus my hail.
Yeah,
Get
totally.
my Sand Slash more use. Thanks.
And our last trade, I'm pretty sure,
Is Manny for Tauros.
yeah, Z told me why. He said Tauros hits a lot harder, and it has a lot better coverage.
Which, I mean, it's faster, it gets more coverage. It's not one dimension. What is it? Flamethrower, Overheat, Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, power of your
And
choice.
HP Ice.
No, HP, hidden power of your choice.
Yeah.
Depending on what you feel. So
Tauros
that's Manny.
is a-
Tauros can be special, physical, defensive, mixed. I love Tauros a lot. I definitely.
Very
Tauros is
underrated.
great.
I kind of had it in a league, but it kind of just dropped out. Or cared, but I had it, and it was just so much fun to prep with. Like, 350 speed is phenomenal. It's Lottie speed tier for tier 5. That's phenomenal.
That's such a good speed tier for lower tier.
But the thing that we can't really move it up any more than a tier 5 to a tier 4 is the fact that there are better normal types out there.
For sure.
It's still a phenomenal type. Like, again, it's a good mon, but I don't feel it's the best thing in the world, per se. So that's just me, though. So let's kind of move on here to week 3 battles.
Wait, I think Roblox had a trade as well. I think he traded.
No,
That's week 4.
Okay,
Yeah,
my
that
bad.
takes some time.
So let's move on to our week 3 matchups here. We have Weirdo versus Roblox. We have Kylo versus Nada. We have Zone versus BXL. We have me versus JS. The Boo Boo versus Z. We have Chu versus Antoine. Ghost versus Liam. And Red versus A-Guy.
Yes.
What matches are you guys looking forward to most? Red
To be
and
honest,
A-Guy
none
is
of
the
them. Oh yeah, Red versus A guy is probably the most.
And I also want to
interesting
say me versus JS. I'm a personal saying that.
All right, who do you think's going to win? Like, let's do a mini pick'ems. Who do you think's going to win each match?
So
Based
Roblox and Weirdo, I have to give the edge to Weirdo because
Yeah,
Roblox has
Weirdo.
just been, I don't know. Kylo and Nada, I can't. Bulu is gonna
Kylo.
be, I don't know. I can't really call it just because Nada
I
has
think-
Bulu.
Yeah, I think Baloo could. I think I'm gonna go with Nada because
Bulu can actually cause a lot of issues for the team. Kylo relies on Lando quite a bit.
Yes.
So I don't know. I can't call it.
Zone
Zone and BXL. I don't know. I can't call that one either. That's right down the middle for me. Like I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting match because BXL has been feeling good. Zone just came off a really hard loss.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know. I can't call that one. I can't call it.
JS versus Spectrum. I'm sorry, Spectrum, but
I know.
I'm
I have to
giving
go.
the edge to JS because JS has been playing perfect.
Phenomenally, yeah. I mean, I just can't wait for this. I love facing JS personally. So,
Z versus Boo Boo. I'm voting for Z because I
have
think
to-
Z
Yeah,
actually,
I think Z.
Z has been proving, even though we didn't put him at a high number, he's been proving that his draft and how he preps has been efficient.
yeah,
Mhm.
I agree.
I
Chu and
think that's
Antoine?
probably
I'm giving the edge to Antoine.
I mean, yeah, I have to give the advantage to Z. Quick, Z has been playing good.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
it's
excited
just
for that match though.
same.
Z and Boo.
Yeah, yeah. Z or Antoine and sorry, Chu. I had to give it.
I'm voting for Antoine too.
I'm gonna say
Tabu
Antoine.
Tabu Finney is so hard to prep for.
Liam
yeah.
and Ghost.
Ghost.
I don't know.
They're both 0-2. It's really hard to decide, but I think Ghost.
Yeah, right.
Honestly,
talk-
I'm actually gonna say Liam. I have hope for Liam this week.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's talk
also,
about.
actually, the problem with that is their extension is ending today, so I think Ghost might get.
Not sus.
Fine.
A-Guy in red.
I'm gonna say Red.
This is 2-0 teams. Like I can't call it.
I think-
A-Guy came off a body bag, and Red did the same exact thing.
Yeah.
I can't call it.
I think I'm gonna say Red just based on his performance from week 1 and 2 overall.
Yeah.
You guys definitely been doing really well so far, so I'm super hyped for this match.
Same.
I think it
That's-
could go down to a really. It could go down to one mon being at like 25%. That'd be.
Yeah, I can
can
see it. So it's gonna be a crazy match. I can't wait to watch it.
I can't
Well,
wait.
I think that's all we got. That's all.
Mhm.
Thing for week 2.
Yeah, and week 3 is going to be late, I think, Okay.
Probably.
because of the extensions. What?
Hush. All right. Thank you guys for watching.
Alright. Comment, rate, subscribe. Really helps out the channel. If you want to see more? No? Wait, hold up. Goodbye.
Bye.